Yeah, g'day. It's Mick here from Karmic Aviaries. I've got cameraman Paul on the camera. I'm going to make some calcium blocks. These are mainly for finches, these ones. For the finches, I don't put as much plaster Paris in the mix. And it's a softer, more crumbly sort of calcium block. And this is what we've got. Okay, first off, we've got... This is dolomite. Now, dolomite is magnificent because it's a mixture of both calcium, as calcium carbonate, with magnesium, and it's a balanced form of it. And it's great for your birds. Okay, we've got calcium carbonate, right, which is this white powder. Okay, and that's a good form of calcium for your birds. Then we've got plaster Paris. Now, a lot of people believe plaster Paris is just calcium carbonate. I can guarantee you, if you just mix calcium carbonate in there, it won't go hard at all. So this is a fixing agent. It has something else in it. I don't know what it is, but that's plaster of Paris. Okay, the other stuff that we use is a coarse medicated shell grit. Okay, we buy it in 25 kilo bags or whatever, and it just gives the bird something extra to chew and pull out. The parrots love this. They'll spend all day pulling them apart. And then we've got fine unmedicated shell grit. All right, you can add a lot of different things to your calcium blocks. This is one that I love to add. That's seaweed meal. It's not, you can add spirulina if you want, but this is actually seaweed meal. It's a coarse sort of livestock grade seaweed meal. Okay, there are other things you can add. Baked eggshells are really good for texture. And the other stuff that I also mix into this is bits of twigs of like fruit branches and stuff like that. If you're doing parrot blocks, just gives them something interesting. When they break through, they find something different and they have a real good chew at it. It's entertainment for your birds, but it's also giving them calcium, which they need. Okay, so I'll get rid of me trusty rusty thing. Okay, calcium carbonate. As you see, have your containers. These are microwave safe ones. You don't need to get them, but they're just cheap plastic Chinese takeaway dishes. And we've got 15 in this lot that we're going to try to make up. So I've got 1 part of the calcium carbonate. Okay. To 2 parts of dolomite. That's because I wanted a crumblier, not as hard mix. Okay. We put a container of the coarse shell grit in, and a container of the fine shell grit. Okay, and those dolomite lumps, just break them up, they're really soft. Okay, seaweed meal to that amount, about that much seaweed meal, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now, because these are for finches, I'm only putting to all that this is the plaster Paris. Calcium carbonate is the main ingredient in plaster Paris, and plaster Paris is what you use to plaster your gyprock walls. So I want a whole one part of that to all of that. It's like cooking a cake, isn't it? Put that in there. Now move that out of the road. As I said, just break up all the big dolomite lumps. One thing I wouldn't add to this is rock salt. Just leave your rock salt whole for your birds to have a nibble on. You can add charcoal, as long as you either buy good quality animal charcoal, see, but not that, see. That's my kids being a smarty pants, chucking screws around the yard. Mix it all up, get it all sort of well mixed. You can put mix a little bit of iodine with it. Your bird seed, you can add a bit of bird seed to it. And just for a bit of variety. Okay. We're going to go to a quick pause break so we can get some water.